So today's video is going to be a chatting tutorial Tuesday. Me just talking about some things, so let's just get straight into it. I'm going to start with a bit of moisturiser because my skin is so dry. So we're going to be talking about Makeup Revolution. Last week's video I talked about Makeup Revolution. Makeup Revolution were Boohoo were trying to replace the board with their own people because they own a significant amount of stock in the company. We'll leave a link to everything down below them. Any articles I've read, I will link them down below, and any videos I've watched, link down below. Cut Revolution with their board members and shareholders. Quickly recap a few things to do with Makeup Revolution. The CEO, Adam Minto, he did some shady business, and Tom Allsworth had Makeup Revolution buy a company called Medicam that he owned. And if you're not aware of Boohoo, Boohoo is an honest fashion retailer in the UK. They own 26.6% of stock in Makeup Revolution. They didn't want the people running the place, Bob Hall, Derek Zisman and Elizabeth Lake. They wanted their own people, so it was a case of they had a vote. This didn't go as I expected. These are my predictions before we talk about what happened. I expected it to either be they have a vote and the Boohoo people got voted in, or it stayed as the current people. Just using some concealer. Brush. Definitely learnt this concealer less is more because I really used to cake it on. Like with my Maybelline Superstay, I used to do like a backward triangle. This concealer I just do a dot because it's so full coverage, like it's more full coverage than what I'm used to. Boohoo fails to see how such a board can claim to be acting in best interests of their shareholders and is instead self-serving, as demonstrated by its action over the last 24 hours. Revolution hit back by describing Boohoo's hostile action as value destructive opportunities and self-serving, as well as not being in the interests of the company shareholders as a whole. I'm going to use some powder, my Maybelline Fit Me powder. Just going to set those places. Gonna just take this brush and just brush on the powder. It's because it is a little dark. Accuse Boohoo of trying to take Revolution over by the stealth through the boardroom, cope without making an offer for business, and argued that its fortunes were significantly improved with business back on track. Squatchwoffs, probably said that wrong, I do apologise, along with the newly appointed directors, then reappointed the Holt Chief Financial Officer, Elizabeth Lake, and Shiman and Derek Zisman to the board, even after the majority of shareholders voted against their election to ensure suspension of trading the company's stock can be lifted. They voted to kick out Bob and Derek and Elizabeth. Then Jeremy Swartz, the independent director, but he reinstated them. Never saw that coming. Like, this is the part I never saw coming. I'm gonna use some bronzer now. I'm gonna use my Rimmel Natural bronzer, which looks like this. I just dab and then go over like this, just sort of placing and somewhat blending. The vote said 75% of shareholders have voted to kick out the people and install the Boohoo people. Only 30% of shareholders even voted. Boohoo owns 26.6%. The highest vote against any proposal was 29%, less than 3% of the non-Boohoo people voted. Boohoo have provided no detailed rationale for their hostile approach, nor have they.
A few moments later.
Makeup Revolution is one where their brand, they do a lot of these cutesy collabs. Like, their makeup mostly is pretty adorable. I do like some of Makeup Revolution's products. Like, I'm using the highlighters. Hairs all over my face. Just did do blush very quickly off camera. It's one where Makeup Revolution do release products pretty consistently. Like, I do see a lot of Makeup Revolution products around them, and also I think they do have a social media presence. Just put in some more highlight using another Makeup Revolution highlighter. Like my brown bone highlight. Now we're going to move on to primer with my eyeshadow. My Barry M Lid Lock primer. A very good drugstore primer. If you are looking for an affordable primer, I'd recommend Barry M. Has a little bit of a tint to it, like, I find it works well for any kind of. It is a very good base. So, I'm going to be doing like a blue look thing in MUA, and I'll probably pull from one of my Makeup Revolution palettes a shimmer. So, I'm going to start in the second to darkest blue. Just swirling my brush in the pan. I've hit pan on the shadow. Just stamping it all over the lid. This palette you could do like a one shadow and done. Especially with these blues, with how pigmented they are. Really focusing this in the crease. Just trying to build it up so they match. Then I will take a blending brush and blend. Cut Revolution had been reinstated back into the British Stock Exchange on Wednesday. The shares sold as much as 54% at one point. The people who were in charge, Derek and Bob and Elizabeth, were promised these stock bonuses if they're able to improve the status of the company. I'm like blending, but I'm like barely touching. Like they are so pigmented. But barely touching it. That's what the blending brush looks like. I'm gonna dip into a really dark blue and just stamp on the outer part to just deepen it up. Since they were able to do that, they got a ton of money in stocks. They got over 11 million shares split between them, nearly $3.8 million. The darkest colour and just putting that on the outer. Use these 3 brushes. Gonna take this brush again and just blend it out, just trying to blend them as seamlessly as possible. Boohoo is talking about coming back to the board in like July, August time with more shareholders chiming in. So we'll just see what happens. Why are people mad at Elf Cosmetics is the next thing we're going to talk about. People are mad because Elf did a collab with a very popular influencer, Mikayla, which I did talk about in my video last week. Mikayla is known for not being particularly honest, doing undisclosed sponsorships on TikTok. It's running the same colour. Lower lash line, which I will give a blend because blue smoky eye today. Mikayla Noguera did a collab with Elf on a lip kit specifically designed for wedding. Gonna dip into the Sofix Revolution palette. Gonna use the silver on the inner corner, which is this one. Gonna use this setting spray, which is my Max Factor Lasting Performance. Had to close my mouth because I would have inhaled that. Didn't. We had Mascara Gate. There's been like other undisclosed sponsorships. I've done a few videos, so we'll link them down below to do with Mikayla. She did a sponsorship on L'Oreal's new telescopic lift mascara. Did try it, have recently decluttered it. I just didn't like it, but that's me personally. Blending in that shimmer a little bit better. Gonna spray up into this blue shimmer that I'm literally scraping out because I really like the shimmer. So we have Mascara Gate, where Mikayla applied false lashes.
A few moments later.
So eyeliner, I'm going to use this Barry pencil liner. This mascara. This lip gloss. kind of. Mikayla applied false lashes doing a sponsorship. The L'Oreal telescopic lift to make it better. Well, I'm like, you didn't really need that. That's not blended. So it basically said false advertising is okay. Fans liked it. People obviously don't trust Mikayla. Mikayla then got engaged, so she posted about searching for the perfume and dress and the hair. That was in. Nails. A lip combo, which Mikayla was working on a collab with cosmetics leading up to this collab. Like, some people are like mad about it, like people gave a lot of hate to Elf. It's one where I do think congrats to Mikayla. Like, people were disappointed in Elf for working with Mikayla, and it sold out the collab. It sold out in like 80 minutes, which I'm like is so fast. We do my lower lash line. This is the finished look, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.